This is the story of Roy Keane's finest hour. How one man led by example and dragged his team from the brink of defeat to the gates of glory. Not by scoring a hat-trick or a last-minute winner, but through sheer force of will. This is the story of how our inspirational captain inspired an historic comeback that set the foundation for our greatest triumph, the treble. In 1993, Roy Keane was one of the hottest properties in English football, and Manchester United saw a fierce competition to sign the Irish midfielder from Nottingham Forest for a then British transfer record of £3.75 million. Keane would go on to captain the club for 8 years from 1997 until 2005, overseeing one of the most successful periods in MUFC history. 2 years into Keane's club captaincy, United faced a mountainous challenge. April 1999, and the club had reached the semi-finals of the Champions League. While undoubtedly one of the continent's best teams, the Reds had been humbled in the tournament by teams such as Galatasaray, Borussia Dortmund and AS Monaco over a 5-year period. Getting over that final hurdle was proving ever more challenging. That season, the semi-finals were reached the hard way. United had escaped the dreaded group of death, which included Bayern Munich and FC Barcelona, and had beaten Internacional in the quarter-finals, including a feared front three of Ivan Zamorano, Roberto Baggio and the greatest of them all at the time, Brazil's Ronaldo. The Turin Giants had reached the last 3 Champions League finals, winning the trophy in 1996, and they were intent on reaching a 4th straight final in 1999, this time at United's expense. In the first leg at Old Trafford, Juventus demonstrated their class, taking the lead through Antonio Conte and bossing the first half. Alex Ferguson's Reds never knew when they were beaten, however, and secured a draw in injury time when Ryan Giggs smashed home a superb half volley. Game on. There was still cause for cautious optimism in Turin. United's start couldn't have been worse, with legendary Italian goal poacher Filippo Inzaghi scoring after just 6 minutes. The outlook was even bleaker for the Reds after 10 minutes when Inzaghi scored again. The tie was drifting away from United, and another Champions League failure looked increasingly likely. It's at these times you need your captain. Step forward, Roy Keane. As David Beckham whipped in a corner, his skipper stampeded through a packed penalty area, soared through the air and glanced a perfect header into the Juventus net. Without breaking stride and with no more celebration than an understated fist pump, the Irishman charged back into his own half, ready for the restart. 10 minutes after his goal, Keane was booked for a foul on Zidane. Though he knew this meant he would be banned if United went on to reach the final in Barcelona, the captain put his disappointment aside and went on to have one of the games of his career. A minute later, United equalised, establishing an advantage on the away goals rule. Aided by Butt and later substitute Scholes, Keane continued to nullify Zidane, Davids and Deschamps for the rest of the game. United were rampant, hitting the post through York and Irwin before ultimately completing the comeback and sealing a deserved victory when Cole stroked home the visitors' 3rd goal with 6 minutes to go. United were through to the final of Europe's biggest competition for the first time since 1968. Keane would not play in Barcelona, but his brilliance in ensuring that his club would be in the final prompted unanimous acclaim. His performance was perfectly summarised by Ferguson. "It was the most emphatic display of selflessness I have ever seen on a football field," said the Scot. Pounding over every blade of grass, competing as if he would rather die of exhaustion than lose, he inspired all around him. "I felt such an honour to be associated with such a player." The rest is history. Bayern Munich, the Nou Camp, the last-minute turnaround, and Schmeichel lifting the trophy is a series of events indelibly etched in history. The club captain, the man who should have been lifting the trophy, the man who led by example in Turin a month before, was clad in his club suit, but his teammates insisted that his contribution be recognised. Alongside Scholes, who had also missed out through suspension, Keane was practically dragged out onto the pitch to take the acclaim of the euphoric United supporters. When the Irish Colossus held the giant trophy aloft, he gained one of the biggest cheers of the night, a special acclaim for a truly special figure in Manchester United's history.